Right now, you'll want to get outside and enjoy this weekend weather because things are about to change. Gary is tracking some picture-perfect shopping conditions followed by some bone-chilling cold. And the Badgers are back in the Big Ten Championship, but can they beat the Buckeyes? Our sports team is breaking down their chances.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning and thanks for starting your day with us here on News 3 Now. It's Saturday, December 7th. I'm Keely Arthur in with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary, what shift don't you work? Are you here just like around the clock? Do you live here?
I pull numbers out of a hat and whatever shows up, that's where I'm at.
Where you're at?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you drew us today. Great to have you here.
Yeah, nice being here.
And should be nice weather this weekend?
Yeah, the weekend should be fine.
Okay.
No problems, but next week not looking quite so nice. We take a look at weather track this morning. Looks like there's snow north of Madison, and that's not reaching the ground other than up toward Green Bay. And other than some clouds moving through this morning, we'll actually see some sunshine develop later this afternoon. Temperatures are starting out in the mid to upper 20s over southern Wisconsin thanks to the cloud cover. Once the sun comes out later, we're looking for high temperatures to top out around the 40-degree mark. So look for partly sunny skies this afternoon. Also, will be a little bit breezy as well. As we take a look at first alert traffic this morning, things very quiet out there. Haven't got the holiday shoppers out too early yet, but there's the view of the Beltline at Todd Drive. Traffic, of course, very, very light this time of day. Traffic moving at the posted speed limits on I-3990 east of Madison and on the Beltline south of Madison. No problems on I-3990 down through Janesville and Beloit down toward Illinois, and I-94 eastward toward Milwaukee, or north and west of Madison heading up toward the Twin Cities or central Wisconsin on I-3990 and 94, or toward the Fox Valley on US 151. That's your News 3 Now first alert traffic.
All right, thanks for breaking all that down for us, Gary, and we'll check back in with you later.
Okay.
Okay. Well, new this morning, Paul Bunyan's Axe is back in Madison, and this weekend the Badgers are hoping to bring home another big trophy. They're gearing up for kickoff at this year's Big Ten Championship in Indianapolis against a familiar opponent. The Badgers fell to the Ohio State Buckeyes in October, but have been hot ever since. While a win for the Buckeyes would guarantee them a spot in the 4-team playoff, they may have that locked down regardless. There's a lot more on the line for the Badgers. A win tonight would keep them ahead of Penn State and Minnesota, which could send them to the Rose Bowl. The last time they played in Pasadena was January 1st, 2013. The Badgers' last Rose Bowl win, however, was 20 years ago in the year 2000. But let's not look too far ahead right now. Badger players are actually looking back at October's 38-7 loss as they get a chance to even the score.
Some takeaways from that game, one was turnovers. We can't turn the ball over. For like me personally, can't turn the ball over like that in this game. And then just making plays and winning matchups, I'd say.
It's a championship game. It means more. It's bigger than what it was before. I'm not saying you took it lightly before, but it means more to everybody. Them too. So it's gonna be a better game.
There are plenty of watch parties happening around town, both in Madison and Indy. We'll tell you about those in the weekend, 6:08. And News 3 Now will have complete coverage of the game. Sports Director Jay Wilson and Kevin Lewis are in Indy and will join us live from Lucas Oil Stadium in our 8 o'clock hour. Developing right now, the Department of Justice confirms human remains found last month are those of a missing 24-year-old Dane County woman. She has been identified as 24-year-old Anastasia Evans. Evans was last seen alive May 4th in Wisconsin Dells driving a cream-colored sedan. Her remains were first discovered by a hunter in a wooded area of rural Adams County on November 23rd. Two of the teenagers involved in a high-speed crash in a stolen car this week are being held at a juvenile detention center. Prosecutors say they both have history of car thefts. A third has been released to their parents. This is the scene of that crash Wednesday. Prosecutors say one of the two being held had two other stolen key fobs on them at the time of the crash. They say the teens drove past a middle school at 60 miles an hour and were driving 80 down East Washington Avenue before the crash. And the Wisconsin Department of Health Services is investigating multiple cases of a virus on college campuses around the state. They confirmed cases at UW, Madison, Oshkosh, and La Crosse. Adenovirus infections commonly cause respiratory illness, which can range from cold and flu-like symptoms to bronchitis. With just 3 weekends remaining, it's this year's annual Red Kettle campaign. The Dane County Salvation Army is hoping 3 match days will help make up for a shortage in donations. The first match day is today at the Associated Bank location. Right now, the campaign has raised only 17% of its $600,000 goal. The Salvation Army of Dane County says 65% of the bell ringing shifts are also unfilled. You can register you and your family to ring on our website. 1- and 2-hour shifts are available both inside and out. And earlier this week, we told you that the holiday season marks a critical blood shortage donations. One man is going above and beyond, donating more than 100 gallons of blood and platelets. This is the equivalent of saving 3,000 lives. And here's why 75-year-old Vietnam veteran and professional bowler Ron White has hit many milestones. And this one is pretty special. In the 25 years he's donated, it was simply a routine until he met a little girl fighting cancer.
She would smile, and it was like, 100-watt bulb. If I just saved, that was good.
And as a reminder, here in our community, the Red Cross is offering you a $5 Amazon gift card for donating blood. A breakthrough study is happening right now in Madison. The FDA approved a clinic to test psilocybin, which is the active ingredient in magic mushrooms, to see if it can heal people who are clinically depressed. The USANA Institute of Madison is making the mind-altering drug in a lab. Right now, they are screening for 80 people to participate in that study to see how the drug can heal someone who is depressed. The study is done in a controlled setting. The director says it could be revolutionary to the medical field if it works.
I think right now the evidence suggests that a single treatment or 2 treatments of psilocybin in many people will have a benefit that will last at least several months and maybe longer.
Coming up tomorrow on News 3 Now this morning at 6:30, our Jamie Perez shows us how this study is being done and the breakthrough findings they've already discovered. Admission to EAA Air Venture in Oshkosh will be free for people 18 years old and younger for at least the next 2 summers. The Experimental Aircraft Association says it wants to introduce more young people to, quote, possibilities in the world of flight. The Boeing company is paying for the costs, and the price of adult tickets will have a small additional fee. Next year, Air Venture is July 20th to July 26th. Today is a big day for the Navy. It's the christening of the newest aircraft carrier, the John F. Kennedy. The ceremony will be held in Newport News, Virginia. The carrier has been under construction since 2015 and is now about 2/3 complete. The carrier is the second to be named after JFK. His daughter is the ship's sponsor. Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee are working through the weekend preparing for next week's impeachment hearing. The White House says it won't participate in the hearing, blasting the inquiry as, quote, completely baseless. The deadline for them to participate was midnight. Articles of impeachment could be drafted as soon as next week and could include charges of abuse, office bribery, and obstruction. House Democrats have set the stage for a possible floor vote on impeachment before Christmas. Republicans say the end result has already been decided. And from the nation's capital to ours, the Rotunda is shining brighter this weekend. Governor Tony Evers lit the indoor holiday tree during a ceremony Friday afternoon. The theme of this year's tree is Celebrate Science. The evergreen came from a farm in Medford and is decorated with more than 2,000 LED lights and ornaments made by Wisconsin kiddos. Your time right now, 5:09. If you still have any outdoor holiday decorations of your own to put out, you want to do it this weekend. You're taking a live look over the Capitol. Gary is tracking the big change on the way in your full forecast just ahead.
Well, it's a quiet and cold morning out on the backyard patio, but temperatures should be on the mild side for today and tomorrow before we see winter return beginning on Monday and lasting through most of next week. Let's start out by taking a look at the temperature trend over the next 10 days, and you can see we're going to see above normal temperatures for today and tomorrow, but look what happens Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Those temperatures drop off quite a bit. In fact, look for high temperatures only in the teens. On Wednesday, we might only make it to the lower teens. Nighttime low temperatures will be around zero. We could be looking at wind chills down to about 15 below zero in the morning. The winds will lighten up for Thursday, even though high temperatures will be around 20. And then we'll see temperatures closer to normal toward the end of next week with some light chances for snow. But we do have alert days in the forecast for Monday. It'll be windy and colder. Mix of light rain and snow will change to light snow during the day. There could be about 1 to 3 inches of snow at the heaviest amounts north of Madison. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, it's just the very cold temperatures. If you look at the snow potential right now, we're looking at perhaps around an inch here in Madison, maybe 2 to 3 inches up toward the Dells, and then heavier amounts in the northern portion of the state. On Doppler track right now, it looks like there's snow out there, but most of that is not reaching the ground except up toward the Green Bay area and Manitowoc. Some flurries being reported there. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. Pretty quiet here, but skies are mostly cloudy, and that's keeping temperatures up a bit. Right now we're 28 degrees. Winds are out of the south at 7 miles per hour, giving us a wind chill of 21 degrees. Temperatures are in the 20s across most of the state, although Milwaukee and La Crosse are at 30 degrees. You can see the upper level winds still from the northwest, but near the ground the winds are from the south, and that will keep our temperatures mild. Out to the west, the developing storm system in the Pacific Northwest will start moving eastward, and as that gets closer to us, we'll see some chances for perhaps a light rain shower late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night before that mixes with snow sometime on late tomorrow night or early on Monday morning. So this morning, look for mostly cloudy skies. It'll become breezy. Temperatures will climb into the middle 30s by lunchtime. This afternoon, look for mostly skies become partly sunny. It'll be breezy and mild with a high temperature of 40 degrees. On future track, you can see the skies turning partly sunny by this afternoon. High temperatures around 40. For tonight, those low temperatures will drop into the mid-30s this evening and then hold nearly steady overnight thanks to brisk southerly winds. And tomorrow will turn cloudy, but it'll be dry for much of the day. Maybe a chance for a shower late in the afternoon with high temperatures around the almost around 45 degrees. But you can see in the 7 to 10 day forecast the big drop in temperatures at a high of 36 early in the day on Monday, then falling temperatures. Highs only in the upper teens Tuesday with steady temperatures through the day, and Wednesday a low of 2 and a high of 12. At least by the end of next week, temperatures a little more moderate, but we'll also see some chances for light snow as well.
Oh gosh, low of 2. Gary, I thought you were wearing your Cubs coat out there.
No. I'm wearing my News 3 Now jacket.
Your team's coat. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Get
Sure.
back inside.
Okay.
If you have any outdoor plans this weekend, this is your reminder to download our Channel 3000 weather and traffic app. You'll be the first to know when weather that will affect your day is headed your way with the most up-to-date and accurate weather conditions. You can get it for free in our app store. It is 5:15. One of Netflix's most popular shows returns for season 3, and Taylor Swift is hoping you'll add her newest song to your holiday playlist. Plus, our Will Loper shares his picks of 3 things to watch. Trending news is just ahead on News 3 Now this morning, Saturday.
Well, time now is about 5:19. Right now, skies are cloudy, but there's no precipitation out there. Even though on Doppler track, you can see it looks like there's some snow. If you take a look at visibilities, they're at or above 10 miles, indicating that maybe just a few flurries are reaching the ground up in east central Wisconsin. Otherwise, that snow is just staying aloft. Temperatures right now, because of the cloud cover, are in the mid to upper 20s here in Madison. We're 28 degrees. Janesville tops out at 30. And if we look at temperatures over the next 12 hours, they'll slowly climb. Once the sun comes out this afternoon, those temperatures jump up to around 40 degrees by late this afternoon, and we'll be in the mid-40s for tomorrow before a sharp drop in temperatures next week. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Let's look at what's trending this morning. You can now watch an all-new episode of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Season 3 once again stars actress Rachel Brosnahan as Midge Maisel, but this time she's taking her comedy act on the road, leaving her husband and baby behind. The actress says her character really grows this season, and the award list may grow too. Mrs. Maisel has already racked up 16 Emmy wins during its first 2 seasons. Catch season 3 streaming tonight on Amazon Prime. And less than 4 months after dropping her latest album, Taylor Swift is surprising fans with a new song. Instead of waiting until next Christmas, Swift released the new song called Christmas Tree Farm on Friday. The singer grew up on a Christmas tree farm. A music video for the song shows family videos of Swift. A new intimate documentary about her called Taylor Swift Miss Americana also premieres next month at the Sundance Film Festival. And after 6 seasons and more than 100 episodes, the CBS hit Madam Secretary ends this weekend. The series finale features special guest stars from the USA World Cup champion women's soccer team. Can Crystal Dunn, Allie Long, and Allie Krieger help President Elizabeth McCord pull off a landmark political initiative? Find out on the final episode ever of Madam Secretary. That's tomorrow at 9 o'clock right here on News 3 Now. But there's no need to wait until tomorrow to watch something good. Here's Will Loper's picks in this weekend's 3 Things to Watch.
There's a Yeti on my roof.
New on digital HD this week is Abominable.
He escaped. I want my Yeti back!
Is that your home? No way.
A girl finds a Yeti on her roof and decides to help him get back to where he came from before an evil corporation captures him.
There are people looking for you.
Go faster!
Whoa! You can do magic? This is amazing!
This is impossible!
Abominable is available on all digital platforms now.
Yeah, Ma, Beijing is great. Oh, Peng is, Peng's fine.
What I love about Nicole, she is a mother who plays, really plays.
Newly streaming on Netflix this week is the film Marriage Story.
It's not easy for her to close a cabinet.
He's incredibly neat.
She's brave.
He's brilliant. He's very competitive.
Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson star as a husband and wife who decide to separate, and we see all the messy aspects of divorce that come with it.
I realized I didn't ever really come along for myself. I was just feeding his aliveness.
I'll never get to really be his parent again. He needs to know that I fought for him.
Marriage Story is available to stream on Netflix now.
You know, most people in my business, you're just transactions to them. I like to think of you as people.
Oh, okay, good.
You remind me of myself on my second marriage.
Mamma plasserte meg nederst ved bordet sammen med lillebrors tvillinger. Så derfor koker hjernen min akkurat nå, og straks kommer jeg til å si noe som får store konsekvenser både for meg og en del andre. Jeg har fått meg kjæreste.
Finally get in the mood for the holidays with a new Norwegian series also on Netflix called Home for Christmas.
Løy på din kjæreste. Ja, da må du få deg kjæreste. På 24 dager. På 24 dager, jeg skal hjelpe deg. A piece of cake.
After her nosy family keeps asking, a 30-year-old woman lies and says she has a boyfriend. And then she has to find one to show them.
Sammentreff, altså. Ja. Johannes og Johanne, eller?
Det står her at du er 29 år.
Fordi du litt lik mamma.
All 6 episodes of Home for Christmas are streaming on Netflix now.
Få se om det kommer en etterpå, da.
Happy watching. Those are the 3 things you need to watch, and this is Will Loper for News 3 Now this morning.
Some fun picks. There is much more ahead on News 3 Now. Next, we are running through the morning's top stories, including a preview of the much-anticipated Badger game. Plus, if you're looking for
an accurate forecast you can trust, watch First Alert Weather.
Right now, it's the most wonderful time of the year and one of the toughest times to keep our budgets in check. One thing you can do and one thing you should avoid to keep your bank accounts in check.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It's December 7th. I'm Keely Arthur. We're going to get a check on your first alert forecast with Gary in just a second. But first, here are 3 things to know as you start your day. It's a big weekend for the Badgers and a great weekend to be a Badger fan as the team gears up for its 6th appearance in the Big Ten championship game. That's the most of any team in the conference. But even if history is on the Badgers' side, odds makers aren't. The Buckeyes are 16.5-point favorites heading into the game. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indy. If you're headed to the game, check out the free Pep Rally from inside the area from 4 to 7. And if you're not, we'll take you to Indy as we check in with our sports team ahead of the 8 o'clock hour. The Department of Justice confirms human remains found last month are those of 24-year-old woman from Dane County. She has been missing, and she was identified as Anastasia Evans. Evans was last seen alive May 4th in Wisconsin Dells, driving a cream-colored sedan. Her remains were first discovered by a hunter in a wooded area of rural Adams County on November 23rd. And with just 3 weekends remaining, it's the year's annual Red Kettle campaign, and the Dane County Salvation Army is hoping 3 match days will help make up for a shortage in donations. The first match day is today at the Associated Bank location, and right now the campaign has raised only 17% of its $600,000 goal. The Salvation Army of Dane County says 65% of the bell ringing shifts are also unfilled. You can register to ring on our website. 1- and 2-hour shifts are available both inside and outside. And Gary, it looks like the weather's going to be beautiful. Maybe people want to take a shift outside today.
Yeah, today and tomorrow will be days being outside isn't going to be a problem, but as we head into next week, that will change. As we take a look at weather track this morning, skies are mostly cloudy over southern Wisconsin. It looks like there's some snow here. All of this is aloft, not seeing any surface reports of any of that snow reaching the ground. And skies are clearing a bit out to the west, so we should see some sunshine for this afternoon before clouds move back in for tomorrow. Current temperatures are in the middle to upper 20s, Madison at 28, Janesville at 30, temperatures 27 right now in Lone Rock, but wind chills right now really not much of a factor. 21 for the wind chill in Madison. The winds will become a little breezy as we head through the day. Otherwise, look for skies to start out mostly cloudy. We'll turn partly sunny this afternoon. By late afternoon, look for a high temperature right around 40 degrees. As we take a look at first alert traffic, things pretty quiet out there as you'd expect early on a Saturday morning. However, conditions will probably become a little busier as the day goes on. A lot of holiday shoppers out there. This is the view from the DOT camera at the Beltline at Todd Drive. Right now, seeing traffic moving pretty steadily in all directions on the Beltline and also on the interstate in Madison. Not seeing any delays right now. 15-minute commute either direction on the Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading into Madison, 25 minutes from Janesville to the Beltline on I-3990. 16 minutes in from US 12 from Sauk City. And from Sun Prairie on in, a 14-minute commute to downtown Madison. That is your News 3 Now First Alert traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary. Students and community members are calling on UW-Madison leaders to commit to making clean energy changes as world leaders gather for the UN Climate Change Conference, which continues through next week.
We are on a 12-year clock, and today is the day for our university as a flagship university to finally commit to doing something about it so we can stop being the lowest in the Big Ten in terms of sustainability and actually start making steps to be on the right side of the future.
Local organizers are calling for Chancellor Rebecca Blank and administrators to agree to power UW-Madison with renewable energy by 2050. Local students joined protesters around the world who marched down city streets to draw attention to the climate crisis. Climate activist Greta Thunberg made the trek to Madrid for the UN climate talks, urging world leaders that the issue can no longer be ignored. Leaders there are working to establish global rules to reduce carbon emissions set out in the 2015 Paris Accord. The U.S. is the only country that signed the agreement and then pulled out. More local news now. The granddaughter of a man murdered earlier this year is turning her grief into some good. Jessica Fisher is selling special bracelets in honor of her grandfather, Harold Johnson, who was murdered in January. The money will go toward a first-of-its-kind account for families of crime victims to help pay for any debts or bills that are left behind.
That's the last thing that people should be worrying about when you lose a family member in such a tragic way.
Jessica also raised money for 2 scholarships for students who want to study criminal justice. One is at Portage High School and the other is at MATC. She said while she can't stop crime, she's hoping this will at least put some resources into solving them. And the holiday shopping season has begun, and if you're like many Americans, you'll spend more than you mean to. Tom Hansen has a look at some shopping strategies to help you save from overspending.
Sticking to a budget during the holiday shopping season can be tough.
We try to set a budget every year, and my wife goes over every year.
I mean, I used to not have a budget and just buy stuff for everyone, but that ended up being way too costly. I'm like, I need to narrow this down.
An estimated 48 million Americans are still paying off debt from last holiday season.
No matter what, going into debt for the holidays is a terrible idea.
CBS News business analyst Joe Schlesinger says the first step is creating a holiday budget by reviewing your bills from last holiday season. Then make a list for this year of everyone you need to include.
That could mean your friends, it could be your family, it could be your service providers. Put everyone down. Then the hard part is assigning a dollar amount to those people.
Which can be difficult.
I definitely overspent last year because I bought my mom like a vacation thing, like a plane ticket to Florida or whatever like that. So definitely overspent, but it was well worth it because it's my mom and I'll give it a whirl.
Experts also advise against opening store credit cards to get a discount because you could be paying far more down the line.
That actual application can negatively impact your credit score, and that could mean that you pay higher interest rate in the future.
And staying out of debt could be the best gift you can give yourself. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
December is a busy month for all of us, so if you're looking for a quick way to escape while keeping your kids entertained, head to the Overture. Mary Rose Eckberg is back in studio this morning with a preview of this month's lineup. Good morning, Mary. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me back. Always a pleasure.
December is a busy month in Madison. What is going on over at Kids at the Rotunda?
So today we will be joined by students from the Kalanjali School of Indian Dance who will be presenting a beautiful show of Bharatanatyam style Southern Indian dance in full costume. And after that show, we invite the audience to head across the street to Central Madison Public Library for activities inspired by the show. The following week, on December 14th, we will be presenting Yid Vicious, who's a great local musical talent, and they'll be sharing Yiddish beats in honor of Hanukkah and the winter season. We will take 2 weeks off for the holidays, but during that time, I invite the audience to check out our Facebook page at Kids in the Rotunda to give us suggestions about artists or ways we can improve the experience through our online survey, and all respondents will be entered to win 4 tickets to an upcoming show at Overture.
That's very exciting, and I know December is a month where it's a lot of Christmas-heavy type things. These 2 events sound like they're kind of far away from that. Was that on purpose?
Yeah, so we like to highlight different cultures around this time of year as we're starting to move into the winter season. It's good to kind of highlight different stuff that's going on, we think. So we bring Kalanjali back every year around this time of year. It's also a really, really beautiful presentation. Their costumes are gorgeous. And Yid Vicious as well, we always bring them back to celebrate the Hanukkah season as well as just winter in general. And one fun fact about them, they have a artist who plays a theremin. So if you've never seen someone play a theremin live, you should definitely check it out.
It sounds like these events not only are going to keep the kids occupied for the event time itself, but I feel like a lot of questions are going to come to parents after this.
Absolutely, yeah. So the goal is to really encourage people to think about the arts and to engage in the arts with their kids and hopefully have some great conversations about what they saw, what they learned while they were there.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I know we'll visit you again next month to talk about a really packed schedule in January.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thank you. Coming up, Kids in the Rotunda isn't all that's happening. It's a busy December weekend around town, and we've got you covered. We're getting into the holiday spirit with a Christmas classic and a craft fair to cross some holiday shopping off your to-do list. Your Weekend 608 is next on News 3 Now this morning. Welcome back. It's the weekend here in the 608 and the first full weekend of December, which means holiday events are in full swing. Here are a few events we think will make the family more merry. You can get into the spirit of Christmas with A Christmas Carol live this weekend at the Overture Center's Capitol Theater. The play will feature the classic story of Ebenezer Scrooge. There are multiple performances this weekend. For more information and tickets, you can head over to overture.org. If you're looking for a unique Christmas gift or just some new decorations for the house, head over to the 10th annual Crafty Fair. That's at the Goodman Community Center and next door at Brassworks. The fair runs from 10 to 4 today and 10 to 2 tomorrow. More information can be found at craftyfair.org. And there is plenty of Big Ten championship watch parties going around town. The Badgers are taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes tonight at Indianapolis at 7 o'clock. Besides deciding the 2019 Big Ten champ, it will help decide what bowl game the Badgers end up playing later this month. And as a reminder, you can find more activities for the family and the best of the Madison area in Madison Magazine. If you have any outdoor holiday plans this weekend, this is the time to get them done outside. You are taking a live look over the Capitol. Gary is tracking the return of some snow, followed by bone-chilling cold next week, and that is next on News 3 Now this morning, Saturday. But first, let's take a look at who is turning 3. Happy birthday, kiddos!
Well, it's a quiet start to the morning. Temperatures are starting out in the upper 20s. We'll look for high temperatures today in the upper 30s to lower 40s. And if you want to hang the holiday lights, this is the weekend to do it, because by next week, or early next week, the temperatures will turn sharply colder, and it won't be quite as easy to get up on the ladder and put those lights up. So yes, definitely do it this weekend. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. High temperatures will be around 40 this afternoon, and will be in the mid-40s for tomorrow before a few rain showers develop tomorrow night. That will change to snow on Monday. We could be looking at 1 to 3 inches of light snow at the heaviest amounts north of Madison, and then very cold weather moves in for the middle of next week. High temperatures only in the teens, low temperatures perhaps around 0, and wind chills down to about 15 below 0 from Tuesday through Thursday. Now, as we take a look at alert days that are in the forecast, we put them in because of that. For the light snow on Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday for the unseasonably cold weather that'll be with us. The heaviest snow from this next weather system will stay up to the north and northern Wisconsin, maybe as much as about 3 inches north of the Dells. From Madison southward, probably only an inch or less, with little down toward the Illinois state line. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam in downtown Madison. Pretty quiet out there right now, but skies are cloudy. Temperatures at 28, the wind chill 21. Winds out of the south at 7 miles per hour will pick up as the day goes on. Temperatures are in the 20s through most of the state, although where skies have cleared out, you can kind of tell that in northern Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin. Temperatures in the single digits there. To the south, we're seeing a few places close to the 30-degree mark, but these clouds are moving on through. It's hard to tell on the infrared satellite, because that measures the heat from the clouds so that you can tell where the clouds are at night. But at this point, we are going to see some sunshine this afternoon before the next weather system, which is already spreading clouds in the Dakotas, moves this way. That'll bring us cloudy skies on Sunday, and then perhaps a few rain showers by late Sunday or Sunday night. But it's with a warm front, and on the other side of that front, temperatures right now don't look too high. They're mainly in the 20s and low 30s, but during the day they'll climb up into the 40s and should be pretty mild, at least over much of the central Midwest before we turn colder for the beginning part of next week. Temperatures climbing to the mid-30s by lunchtime as cloudy skies turn partly sunny this afternoon. It'll be breezy and mild with a high temperature of 40. On future track, you can see just partly sunny skies this afternoon, highs around 40. Tonight, we'll see partly cloudy skies with lows in the mid-30s, then those temperatures holding steady overnight. And then the clouds move in for tomorrow, but most of the day should be dry, high temperatures in the middle 40s. 7 to 10-day forecast, again, those alert days as we head into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the light snow, and then the colder conditions. Temperatures will warm up a little bit toward the end of next week, but we'll also see some chances for light snow at that time. Pet walk today, well, Mia in Johnson Creek kind of blends in with the snow there. Fortunately, the snow is gone right now. Temperature about 39 by 3 p.m., but I think Mia will probably be more at home in the snow as we head into next week.
She'll be blending in soon enough.
I think so.
Yeah, you pick cuter pets than Chris, I have to tell you. I really like this one.
Well, I guess they're attracted to me.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. We'll keep you around. Great pet walk pick.
Okay.
Thank you, Gary.
Sure.
Well, we've been asking you to share some other photos with us, including what your morning looks out like. Check out this gorgeous photo sent in by Lori Genthy. Thanks for sharing, Lori. What does your morning look like? You can take a picture and post it on Channel 3000's Facebook page or on Twitter using the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We will share our favorites right here on the show. And you can stick with News 3 all day long. And then tomorrow morning, we have a really unique gift idea, how you can turn your family and friends into lords and ladies by giving them those official titles while saving the environment too. But first, we're soaring to new heights, heading to California to check out the incredible program saving North America's largest bird from the brink of extinction. We're back in a moment. Finally this morning, the California condor, the largest bird in North America, is making a comeback from the brink of extinction. In the early 1980s, there were only 22 left in the world. So scientists set out to capture the remaining birds and create a breeding program.
Joy Benedict got a behind-the-scenes look at how the LA Zoo recently rediscovered a new technique that's produced soaring results.
It is a moment decades in the making.
There he goes.
As young California condors get their first glimpse of the open sky from inside this flight pen at the Bitter Creek National Wildlife Refuge, 2 hours north of Los Angeles. It's their final stop before freedom. Mike Clark is the condor keeper at the Los Angeles Zoo.
You're letting your kids go into the wild, let them go into the big city. But you have to let them go. That's the purpose of it. This is a California native bird. This belongs right in our backyard.
Clark has been a key part of the condor recovery program for 30 years. And this year, it hatched one heck of a milestone. Bird number 1,000 reared his head inside a rocky cliff at Zion National Park. With a 9.5-foot wingspan, it is the largest bird in North America. Yet few have ever seen one.
In 1982, there were 22 birds in the wild, and by 84, that breeding population had dropped to 9.
Seemingly destined for extinction, biologists captured all surviving birds, and the breeding program at the LA Zoo was formed.
From the very beginning, since there were so few birds, we were really careful. We had everyone was on pins and needles. Every egg that hatched was worth its weight in gold.
At that time, keepers used hand puppets to raise them, but the chicks became too comfortable with humans.
Their curiosity is almost greater than their fear.
So the keepers backed off. Now 43 cameras keep watch over more than 24 birds. In the wild, condors might raise one chick every couple years. But here, when a condor lays an egg, keepers take it, prompting the bird to lay another. So Clark tried something never done before.
This is the adult female that reared these 2 chicks.
He wanted to know if a parent would foster more than one chick, so he approached a bird who knew him well.
And here is a sexually mature bird that's been breeding for years and years and years, raised tons of chicks with another bird. She sort of kind of got attached to me because I was the only one that she was interacting with.
So she fell in love with you?
Yes, and I her.
It was a wild success, and this year, for the first time ever, the chicks are all being raised in pairs. The zoo spends more than $500,000 a year trying to save this species, but the only condor visitors may see is Dolly, who arrived with a damaged wing they couldn't repair.
So you guys spend all this money on the California condor, but you don't have a condor exhibit at the zoo.
Yeah.
How come?
Zoos are changing. Zoos have gone from a place where you go to see animals to a place that does conservation locally and abroad.
And that brings us back to this fall day. 4 birds hatched last year are on the move. Off to their new home in the mountains where wild birds perch nearby, but so does danger.
You're just hoping that you prepare them to survive.
Since the recovery program began, the condor only has a 50% survival rate. It's still threatened by hunting, lead poisoning, and hazards like power lines.
We call it the E-perch, the electric perch. And if the birds land on it, they get a little shock and they avoid it.
Clark is training the birds to stay away, but most of the juveniles already do because they're watching an older, wiser bird, a mentor placed with them.
The mentor already knows about the pole, never uses it. None of them even try it. So that tells you how important the mentor is.
And as a new flock is tagged and prepped for release, the keepers are hopeful.
Can you imagine walking out in your backyard and seeing a bird with a 9.5-foot wingspan sitting on your fence post?
A dream that every year gets closer to home as the lessons learned give this shadowy feathered flyer a chance to not only soar, but survive. Joy Benedict, Los Angeles.
Pretty cool. It's nice to see that warm weather. Might see something kind of like it this weekend. Not
today
quite
and tomorrow.
California?
Yeah,
Okay.
today and tomorrow, fine. But after that, not quite as nice. Let's take a look, first of all, at current temperatures. We're now 29 in Madison. Janesville has dropped to 28 degrees. These temperatures will go up slowly this morning thanks to the cloud cover, but this afternoon we'll see a little more sunshine. Wind chills right now, upper teens to the lower 20s. Otherwise, look for a high of 40 today and 44 for tomorrow. Maybe a late day shower tomorrow, and then on Monday, any mixed precipitation will change to light snow, maybe 1 to 3 inch snowfall accumulations. Very cold for the middle of next week, and then warming up at the end of next week, but some light snow chances too.
A little bit of a roller coaster. You can hang out with Gary and I at 8 o'clock. Thanks for watching.